The next technique we're going to work on is one of my favorite seam finishing techniques, which is French seams. French seams are when you sew from the right side, flip, sew from the wrong side, and then flip again and press. And these are often used for sheer fabrics or say a chiffon, something that's hard to finish and keep from fraying and unraveling. It's a nice strong seam finish and it's also really beautiful. So we've got 2 pieces of our scrap fabric sewn together at a 1/2 inch seam allowance again. Now, what we're going to want to do with this is we're going to grade, like we talked about before, grade our seam allowance down to less than, just barely less than 1/4 inch. So let's say 3/8 of an inch. And keep in mind, right now, you are looking at the outside of the garment's actual right side, okay? Now, after we've graded the seam allowance, we're gonna carefully try to press it open so that we can get it nice and flat. Only at 1/4 inch now. And then we're gonna fold it flat. That extra step just there of pressing it flat really makes this step a lot easier. So don't skip it, it's important. Now we're gonna fold it in half and press again. And then we're gonna come back over to our iron and sew another 1/2 inch seam allowance seam. Now, typically, this would be a large seam allowance for a French seam, but because we're learning this is the best way to do it right now, in a garment, it would probably only be a 1/4 inch. That's why we trim to just scant of a 1/4 inch to about 3/8, so that when you open it, the fabric that you enclosed doesn't show through. It's completely hidden inside of our 2 seams. So no matter if you're looking at the outside of the garment or the inside of the garment, you have a finished, enclosed, beautiful seam that's strong and clean.